All right, so what we were talking about was the list box of things that are available for you to choose from in the floor plan screen. So for instance, if you wanted to, you could make a chain button, and we're going to talk about chain buttons here in a few minutes. What you can do is you can link things together, like you can touch this button and get to your patio screen, or touch this button and get to an upstairs, or that kind of thing. Our checkout button is usually, once you hit your working with tables button, it takes you to the checkout. And the reason I usually don't put that checkout button on the front screen is, sure enough, one of the servers is going to hit it and go into a checkout mode. So I try to bury the things that I want them to pay attention to get to. So I kind of hide the open drawer key and that kind of thing as well. So what I've done is I've just placed all the real necessary keys on this screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually create the exit key. So what this is going to do is it's going to allow you to get to a floating screen. Without this, you will be stuck in your floor plan on that server number. So this is what a common screen looks like on one of my floor plans here. You're always going to have a working with tables because you've got to get to your functions. You're always going to have a combine and a detach, a view owner, a view time open, an adjust tips, and an exit. So now once I've got this part set up, I'm ready to go ahead and add tables. So to add a table, what you're going to do is you're going to right click, you're going to click on new button, and you're going to go find T for table. So right there's table. So now once you do that, the list box pops open, and now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to make number 11 a table. So now if I want this table turned like a diamond shape, what we're going to do is we're going to choose orientation, and we're going to go ahead and orientate this at a 50-degree angle. So once you're done with that, then you're going to have tables that are kind of sideways here, and you can make diamonds out of them. The background for like certain areas. So I know, okay, when I see my marble here, I'm on my restaurant floor plan right now. So then when I go in and I go to a different part of my restaurant, like my patio, I might have a different background. So I know as a server where I'm at without having to really think about it. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a chain key. So what we have to do is we have to add another panel to be able to chain to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this panel, and then I'm going to edit this panel, and I'm going to lock this panel down. So by locking this panel, I'm going to click on Mark as Template, which what that does now is, now notice my tables can't move. I can't move them. It's got this little border around here. So that means everything's locked in place. I can't move anything. I can't do anything on this panel. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click again, and I'm going to copy this panel. And it's going to ask me what do I want to name the next panel, and I'm going to call this patio, and hit OK. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to close my panels, and then I'm going to reopen. I'm going to go right click on here. I'm going to go open existing panel. I'm going to once again choose my button functions, and I'm going to open my patio floor plan. Okay, so when patio floor plan's open, I can then right click on here. I'm going to edit my panel. I'm going to uncheck mark all of those. So now my buttons, they move again. So what I want to do is I want to put on my patio tables. So I am going to just hold down my shift key and my left mouse key, and I'm going to make like a little rubber band thing to get rid of all of these tables. And I am going to hit delete button, and that's going to get rid of all those selected tables. So you don't have to click on each individual table if you're saving a floor plan. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit my panel as well, and then I am going to choose a different background, and we'll just do a cool blue. No, I do not like that one. All right, there's a concrete there. So that can be for my patio. So now I'm going to right click again, and I'm going to go new button. It's going to be T for table, and then I am going to use those patio tables we created. So of course it's going to be table 1, but on the front of the house screen what this is going to say is it's going to say P1. And then I'm just going to copy this and just make my patio screen basically. So once we're done doing all that, now we've got to get a button and we've got to get back to the restaurant. So that's where that chain button is going to come into play. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on my panel, going to go to new button, going to go find that chain button, and now we're going to name this to restaurant. All right, we can make it any color we want. Once again, I'm going to go with the black color and a white lettering. Now what I have to do is tell it where I want to go to. So I have to hit add here. Now if I had several different floor plans like upstairs, downstairs, hog room, whatever, then what I would do is I would make several different chain buttons to get to all those different points in the restaurant. So right now we're just going to go ahead and click on floor plan and OK. So now I've got this button here. Whenever I'm in my patio floor plan, I can touch this restaurant to restaurant, and it's going to bring up the alternate, the other floor plan we were just working on. So that's how you build chains to all of your different rooms in your restaurants. So if you had, you know, banquet rooms or whatever, then you would have chain buttons going to each one of those rooms. So now once we're done with that, we're going to go ahead and edit panel. We're going to go ahead and lock down this panel and hit OK. And then we're going to go ahead and exit out of here and save all of our panels by hitting exit here, and then it's just going to ask me to save my changes, and I'm going to click on yes. Alright, so once I've got that done, then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and attach that floor plan to our job codes. So we're going to go up here to maintenance. My computer's trying to connect real quick. It's going to be just a second. All right, when in doubt, close Aloha out and go back in. All right. Hopefully this won't take it too long. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go into maintenance, we're going to go into labor, and then we're going to go into our job codes. So once we're in job codes, what we're going to do is we're going to go under this table service button, and notice down here it says use floor plan and there's nothing selected. So right now what we've got to do is we've got to create our screen that's going to attach our floor plans to our job codes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on screen here, and now you can have different floor plans attached to different job codes. So if I had a patio server, I would want that to come up with my patio job code first, or I'm sorry, my patio floor plan first. Now my regular server, I'm just going to want my regular floor plan. So what you're going to do is just drag that floor plan over, hit save. Now what we can do is we can make a patio server, and the screen I'm going to want to see when I log into the computer is the patio floor plan. So you can make as many different screens as you want for as many different job codes as you'd like. And then once you're done doing that, you're going to go back to your job codes, and we're going to go ahead and click on Use Floor Plan, and we are going to use the server floor plan for our manager. Because remember, we have the chain button to get to our patio as well. So then our server is going to also use the server screen. And if we had a patio server job code set up, then what we would do is we would attach that other screen to that job code. So once you're all done with that, of course, you're going to do a utilities and a refresh data. But we're going to go back into the floor plan, and I want to show you what chairs look like on the floor plan real quick. I had not done that. So what we're going to do is go back into our floor plan. We're going to go ahead and open our existing panel of floor plan. We're going to go ahead and right click. We're going to go to Edit Panel, and we're going to click on Show Seats. So once we do that, we're going to hit OK. So now you notice all the tables got a little bit smaller, and they all have chairs attached to them. So now if you wanted to move those chairs, let's say we just had a two-top, and you wanted to move those, what you can do here is you can go to a Define Seats, and just go none here and none there, and now it's going to put the chairs on each side of the table, if you notice that. So you can kind of change the way your seat layout looks just by choosing that. Or you can choose like your bench seating. So if you had a bench here, what it's going to do, it's going to put a little line there. So that's kind of how your floor plan looks with your tables attached. And if you don't like that, then you can just go back to your Edit Panel, get rid of the Show Seats. Now, the one thing I have to tell you, when you're using the Show Seats on a floor plan like that, and you've got a lot of tables, you have to be super careful, because the seats take up more room on the tables. So you might not be able to get tables as close to each other and get your panel to save. So I'm going to kind of show you what will happen is if you have buttons overlapping each other, it can be a very frustrating thing when you're trying to save a floor plan and you've got a lot of tables, and you go to save this. You're going to go Save Panel. It's going to tell you cannot save changes because the buttons cannot overlap. So now you've got to go find the buttons that it's telling you, and you've got to space them out. So these little lines can't touch each other, or your floor plan won't save. So that's a little bit frustrating, but if you have different sections of the house, you can lay it out. Now, another problem with a floor plan is you can only have 50 buttons per floor plan. Now, I figured out a way to cheat this by making two floor plans. So if you go in, you can make like a left half and a right half, and that way you can have 100 buttons. So if you've got more than 50 tables, that's how you're going to cheat the floor plan. And you're going to call it floor 1, floor 2, and you'll never know the difference. And so that's how I've gotten around that. And I'm going to go ahead and just get out of here. And then I am going to unmute you guys for some questions. Do y'all have any questions? That is correct. That is correct. Correct. What you'll do is you're just going to create one screen called floor plan, and then you'll just attach it to all of your job codes, your managers and servers and everything. Exactly. Exactly. Right. Yeah, and that'll help immensely. At least, you'll be able to chain back and forth, and that way you won't have tables, so close to each other on the floor plan and it kind of is like chaos. Right. Okay. That's fine. Just give me a call and when you get ready to do it, and we'll sit down together and I'll let you drive and I'll just make creative suggestions. Okay. I am. Yeah, I think you are getting an upgrade in a server, so you will be able to have the ability to have the alternate table numbers. And I do believe that's in your version right now. I think it's in the later versions of 6.4 right now, I believe. Right. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure. I can look though and see.